don't script my videos, and this video in particular is straight from brainstorm to filming, so bear with me. In this video though, I'd like to discuss the ways that I go about getting my basic needs met, and even my luxurious needs met, while still abiding by my boycott. I'd also like to speak to the challenges that I've faced and the ways that I've failed and what I've learned from those failures. And yeah, I also want to give you guys a few tips on how you can start to do this in your local area if you want. I'm by no means telling anybody to follow by what I'm doing or anything. This is just what I felt like I needed to do and have been wanting to do for quite some time. So with that being said, today I just did a grocery run slash re-up on my studio run, if you will. So I'm gonna be doing a little haul. We're gonna start with the groceries. All for less than $50, I got these snacks for the week. I have dried apple rings. The next is chia muffins with multi-seeds. Again, I already had one for breakfast. Also got a papaya. I got Greek yogurt, granola. This is a pecan and maple granola. The next thing is some organic dried Turkish figs. Organic dried Turkish figs. Yeah. Next was a little snacky snack. I already devoured into this pack of plantain chips, tostones, salted, un poquito. I love coming there for their sweet potato chips, but I couldn't find any today, so I just went with those. And honestly, I am not mad. I also got some almonds and cashews because I would like to make almond milk and almond flour, and cashews because I love cashew butter and cashew milk as well. I got a peach. So altogether is $47.79. But yeah, the one thing I would love to see changed about DeKalb Farmers Market is if they would use less plastic and would use like maybe paper or even, you know, just some other options that I find at like local farmers markets, which I haven't been to in a while. So I definitely want to step into that within the next few weeks. Well, really like my next grocery run, you know, because I'm kind of stocked right now. But this is just one of the spaces that I go for groceries. There's a few other farmers markets that I would like to highlight, as well as some grocery stores that I like to visit.
While I do have my handful of stores that I frequent, I also like to just search farmers markets. Another way to go about this is to look on Facebook, or you can search using DuckDuckGo or any other search service to find farmers markets near you, and then type in your address and your GPS as well. But some of the regulars that I love to go to are the Atlanta Farmers Market. It's down near the airport, and they have so many amazing fruit options. And like, it's farmers typically, but they also have just great prices for really large amounts of food. And everybody's so nice. It's bonus points if you speak Spanish, though, for sure. Um, but yeah, I just love bringing home fresh fruits that are from a farm or not very far removed from a farm system, so that way I'm just limiting the amount of middleman that I have from plant to plate, basically. Another regular place that I go to is the Cedar Grove farm. They are where I get my water. Another safe option for buying herbs though is Nature's Own, and they are basically like a straight out of a Ghibli movie. Like, the organization inside that store is insane. I've yet to try their smoothies, but I definitely know you can get anything that you need for your apothecary needs or your herbalism needs. They have like mouthwashes and just all the day-to-day things, and it's all holistic. When it comes to eating, I also like to go to Habesha Gardens, and I pick vegetables whenever it's a harvest day. It's also free to just come and grab as long as you're gentle and respectful of the plants as well. So if I ever need like a quick leaf of this or that, I will swing by. But this also just helps me reinforce that relationship with my gut until I can get my own garden going and eat straight from my backyard to plate. I also really love to eat out. Every once in a while, I get tired of cooking, and cleaning the kitchen and all that processing. So I will look up Caribbean markets near me. They tend to have patties or a restaurant built in or juices. And then I'll look up Caribbean markets as well because they'll have more spice options. And as I keep saying in this video, it is so good to be shopping with your neighbors. And outside of the kitchen, when it comes to toothpaste and toothbrush and cleaning supplies and even hair oils and body butters, I have been creating my own recipes as well as learning from different recipes online and just finding different methods, like loofahs and loofahs, the plant, instead of plastic loofahs from the store, and moving in that direction because it's so helpful to really know how to source ways of taking care of myself without relying on different companies or relying on places that are not dependable or even helping my environment in any way.
Moving on now, I took some time to get all of the supplies that I want for this next project that I'm running up, which is a print club. And basically what I want to do is send you guys prints of the artwork that I come up with, if that's all right with you at least. And in order to do that, I don't want to go to Office Depot to print because that kind of pushes my whole boycott to the side, as well as I just think it would be cool to use my handmade paper and print it at home with my own supplies. Like, that would feel really intimate and special for me, so I hope other people would enjoy that as well. So this next space that I'm going to be talking about is called Scraplana. It is basically an art thrift store, so anything that you can think of for art supplies, they have. And it doesn't just start or end with, painting and sculpting. Like, it also includes textiles, it includes beading and upholstery and woodworking, and then teacher supplies. There's even glassware, there's things for science, because I was this close to getting a microscope, y'all. And it was vintage. It was only $8. I had a focus though. I had to focus, and I had a focus. And the focus is this print club. Well, firstly, I got this giant pad of tracing paper. I have this mesh screen here. At this store, they have these little sections of fill a bags. So there's like from $1 to $3, I think, to just $5 and straight to $10. Yeah, what I picked up was some wood pieces because I would like to carve my apothecary's label onto an end of it. I got 2 of these. I am a candle girly. I love candles. I love drawing by candlelight, painting, sewing, just being by candlelight. So when I saw that these were here for like less than 25 cents or something, I was like, yeah. Next, I picked up some artist pens. I bring you to a stack of postcards. Like, they're honestly so cool. I picked a bunch of postcards that remind me of 5 botanicals. Next, I got this stationery set. It's really more postcards. It also includes envelopes. And it fits. They all fit. I got some crochet thread. I also got some paper book covers. This is like the inside slip when you put the book down, because My book, I think I already showed y'all, it's falling apart. And I still have the cover. And then this burgundy color will be perfect as the inlay for it to be re-glued together. So that's what this is for. Next, I have CD covers. Next, I picked up some calligraphy tools. This one is a calligraphy practice notebook. This one is a pen set. I think this will help me a lot because I was just thinking in the car about how I want to work on my calligraphy skills for the next event that I host or anything where I'm writing to people. I want to just be like completely stylistic as well as legible with that. Next, I have these colorful pens. Next, I got a soldering iron. The last one I had broke. Next, I got 2 more paintbrushes because these will help me with my new oil paintings. I got this box itself, and then I got a bunch of stuff from inside. I picked up some more wood glue because I just never know. And I also got some more scrap pieces of wood. I figured I could carve fire as well onto this and use the paint roller to layer my ink and get a stamp going that way. That's my hope, you know. I want to do wood cuttings, but I'm just trying any method out, you know. I also got some more blank CDs, a blank DVD. Well, hopefully these are blank. I'm not gonna lie, I don't fully know, but I think I got just about enough to replace what I used to make the CDs of Aerodynamics. So we're back to where we started, and I can put my next album on these. Another crochet hook. Next, I got another box. I just love boxes, and I be needing to put stuff in boxes anyway. Next, I got some address markers. Again, this will help me with shipping out to people. Next, I got a new sketchbook. It is a brand new sketchbook. Nobody has touched it at all, which is perfect timing because my latest sketchbook is falling apart. On top of, I'm at my last like 10 pages. So I feel like every time that I finish a sketchbook though, I graduate to like a new sense of myself, and that makes me feel really happy to be done with this one, because like I somehow named this one Kiari Scar, and this is like dancing Shiva in a hibiscus flower, and I feel like that's very symbolic of what I underwent while working through the projects in that book. So lastly, I got a squeegee to help me with the screen printing. And then actually, this bag also. Shopping with local thrift stores is so helpful for the community. You get to meet people who are right in the neighborhood. You get to join classes and workshops, you know, eventually make friends. And there's 2 locations for Scraplana. I haven't been to the second one yet, but I know that the one that I've experienced is super friendly. Everyone in there is always so bubbly and ready to help and willing to tell you information about what you're working with. If you're new to the art, that's part of the reason why the store exists, you know, to help people get into what they maybe don't even know they're into yet. Yeah, spaces like this, like, they get it and they care, and they're always getting in donations, so you like honestly would be doing them a service by giving them more life, you know. And that's just what that's what I like to do and what I try to do. I'm constantly telling people about Scraplana. If they need yarn from a crochet meetup, if they're working on a new art project and they're not sure where to go, I'm like, nah, forget Michael's, forget Target, even forget Walmart. Like, man, don't even touch base with Blix. Like, just go to a thrift store in general, because Goodwills will also be ready with stuff like that. But you can check out antique shops, like vintage shops that are mom and pop shops. And here's some other cool ones that I would actually love to share with you now.
Another thrift store that I frequent is Second Life Upscale. They tend to have a lot of electronics, and it's really easy to find outfits for music videos and movie ideas. Like to go to is Habitats for Humanity for things like screws and hinges and wood and like anything you can think from a house demolition or like a building demolition, they have it. I've even seen a piano in there. Like it can also just be a great space to furnish your house or apartment. If I'm ever just completely DIYing something, I will actually forage for different art supplies. So, like, I'll walk around my environment and I'll see what I can create with that. I can always do something with needle and thread. So, if paint isn't an option, then I just find ways to bring my artistic voice out with whatever tools are on hand around me. This is another great way of pushing my creativity and just seeing what, like, really the lack of limits that I have. And it feels really freeing. So, outside of that, I do go to just thrift stores again, just being like Goodwill or Value Village. Like, I'll literally just research on maps thrift stores near me. And I love to go to antique shops as well. So, it's not just corporated thrift stores, but it's also mom and pop shop antique shops. Like, they've been in Georgia since, Georgia started, like their family line, it goes back that far. It's really interesting to see the historical connection in that way. I feel like that ties into my anthropology dreams and like fantasies of being an anthropologist as well. So I can use pieces and just kind of like imagine what somebody else had them for. Oftentimes, if you meet more artists as well, you'll eventually luck into a lottery of free supplies at your whim. So definitely get out and learn your neighbors, and just go to different events in your community because that is a great, great way of getting your projects achieved without needing to rely on corporations. And we can just build a community amongst ourselves.
To talk about some of the challenges I have faced, we can really start with my sweet tooth on top of my cycle and how those two, ooh, and let there be a stress outbreak of any kind. Like, just let me be in need of any sort of stress relief. I can slip back into old vices so fast that it's honestly just too late to even reverse the damage. So I've had a few slip ups within this next quarter, if you will. This is like now coming up on month 6 of this boycott. And my slip ups, there were no slip ups the first 3 months, but now here we are. And my slip ups included donuts from Quick Trip. I had a few different purchases from. I went to Office Depot to print some resumes for work. I couldn't find a local print shop in time. And then I used to have like some saved, but I couldn't find those. And like I needed the resumes like that day, so I just went to Office Depot. Um, I'm trying to think of what else. It's been very small. Like I can count on my hands how many times I've shopped in some sort of franchise, like major corporation. I did go by Dollar Tree to get some cups. So it's really also about rushing. Sometimes I'll rush to create a solution for myself when I could have spent more time preparing and not have had to make some quick decision. And that's the whole point of it. Like, that's the whole point of the boycott, as well as that's the whole point of the system itself. Like, they're trying to get us to be comfortable choosing that microwave option, choosing that quick option, like the quick dopamine, like all these different layers. I just want to move a bit slower and more intentionally. So even today, like as the cashier was checking me out at Scraplana, it took her time. That slowness to me is just another example of what I am trying to achieve in my entire life, you know? I just feel like everybody moves so fast. Like, I move so fast impulsively, and um, people expect results quickly. And, like, I watch the plants around me grow, and nothing is happening overnight. Um, some of the fastest things I've seen, it still doesn't even last for long. There's like pacing. Sometimes it'll be really fast, and then the next few weeks it'll actually be slow growth that you can't even see because it's underground, and like maybe it's just completely fluid and like being rotated through. And it's not just for plants, like it goes for like everything. Like even the way we rotate throughout the day, like 24 hours is technically a long time, and it's not even a full 24. And sometimes it is, sometimes it's more than 24. Like, yeah, just time is a construct, and not to be all hippy dippy and woo woo or whatever. It's just the more I can move knowing what I want and being aware in that, the less I feel rushed, and the less I feel, what's the word for like without, the less I feel deprived of like, the less I feel deprived of a true experience, to be honest. There's some conveniences that, of course I was born into, so I just automatically love. And then there are, to me, some conveniences that you just shouldn't pass up on, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, if I was in a walkable city, sure, it'd be a little different, but like a car is really useful, really helpful. I mean, clearly I'm still using this phone. That's a convenience for sure. So, it's not black and white with this thing. I don't really have much room to be black and white just yet. As I like progress and I grow, of course, I'll be able to set myself up in a way where I won't need these conveniences, and I can just move slow. Like, that's the goal. That's really why I'm here. The more I do without, the more I can just do in general. Like, so the more I do without all purpose cleaner from Walmart, the more I do without going to straight to the grocery store to just pick up some microwave lasagna, like the more I go without all these quick fixes, the less I can feel bottled up inside and bottled up within, because there's just more room for expression. So I've been able to create more and use my time more wisely. As I said in the other video as well, that is still here, and it's still continued. It's still continuing. I've been reading more again. Somehow this like translated into like me picking books back up, but my attention span completely plummeted for some time, quite some time, and it's been a minute since I've read full books, but I'm almost at the ending of this one. I just recently finished Parable of the Talents, Octavia Butler, and there's some library books I've been like actually picking up again so I can return them and stop being overdue. Yeah, so I feel like this challenge helps me with my attention span. I feel like this boycott has also helped me with my attention span and my focus, because like I said in the last video, you have to lock in, like you have to look at life differently. So even in general too, what I've stopped doing is purchasing the name brands in these local stores as much as possible, because to me that's a way of completely diverting my money from these big corporations. So another challenge that I've faced now is tech services and instrument services. Tech in general. So when it comes to tech, I struggle. Like, if you've been following me for some time, then you've known me to delete accounts, rant on my story, and tweet some like outrageous stuff, completely unhinged, just because I feel so double-minded being in these spaces, like being on Instagram, being on YouTube. It's not really for me. It's just, I do like to share as well, and I do like the interweb as a whole. You know what I mean? And by interweb, I just mean the idea of it. Like, I feel like it's a lot more than just where it's at now. It's a lot more than just mainstream. Like, still to this day, there's so many niche, cool pockets of the internet that, you know, is worth exploring, and that is just worth exploring. So, when it comes to social media, it can be a bit of a rubber band snapping, like back and forth, because I'll get away, I'll be away for a while, like months at a time. I think there was a year once or something like that, and I'll still have success. However, I'll use Instagram and I'll remember the times that I've also had success using Instagram. Right now, though, I do feel a disconnect with it. Like, I feel performative for sure. However, I'm coming to grips with everything being a performance. So it's really just about what do I want to bring to that stage. And quite frankly, I don't think there's much I want to bring to that stage. I will be real about that. It's just, if I'm going to do it, I need to do it, and I need to do it with my whole heart. So if it's not that, then I can walk away. There's nothing holding me. And what I need to understand, or like what I need to seek, is why do I feel like I'm being held captive by recording this and figuring out that and planning my feed and doing these like little mental challenges of like, okay, 30 days of posting this, or you know, like all these different like caption ideas. And it's a form of art in and of itself, the internet, for sure. It's just, what am I gonna do with my expression? And I just want to be cohesive and like wholehearted with everything. So the same way that music, to me, shouldn't be spread like throughout, my music shouldn't be spread throughout streaming. I'm not trying to impose on what other people should do. So that clarification is so important. Like, for me, my music doesn't belong on streaming services, because those are not spaces that were intended for me. Not necessarily, not truly. It was intended for the, you know, the stars for sure, and like people who can make a lot of money and keep rich people rich, and like circulate trends that are demanded by higher ups to be popular. Like, and yeah, maybe there are corners of the internet, maybe there are corners of the industry that is different than that. However, for the most part, the more I learn about the industry, the more I realize, like, no, it's just like every other industry. How can we make more money off of more people? Like, that's all they're seeking. And to me, that's not a space for me, you know? Like, and honestly, there are a few people who agree with me. I've seen people place their streaming strictly from their website. I've seen people sell their audio straight through their website. They don't even use Bandcamp. That's just cut all the middlemans together, which is something that I've wanted to do. I think in general, another streaming source would be superb, if you will. Like, not like Musi though, you know? Like, not like heavy with the ads and stuff, but then it's like, how do you create an app that doesn't have ads? Or, you know, how does that work? Like, all these different questions that come with building a new space, but they don't get answered until you start taking those steps. But we don't have to rely on Apple, we don't have to rely on Sony or whoever, because it's not about them. Like, they're the ones ripping the Congo apart, you know? We don't have to do that. We can work with our environment, with nature, with ourselves. Like ripping apart the land is not working with ourselves. And any company or any person or any entity whatsoever that is ripping apart the earth is not a space that I want to be a part of as much as possible. Like, I understand that I still have a lot to learn, so there's gonna be mess ups. I will fuck up. I already have fucked up. It has me thinking, why use a website with Notion? You know, why not build my own like whole stratosphere of things? And then like, why use Instagram at all? Why have even access to Instagram? Why let people see me there in that space? And like, because I feel like it's compliance. I feel like it's complacency on my part. Like, to me, that's how I look at it. Because I'm like, the same way I don't want to wear cotton on my skin because it's not as breathable as linen. Or like, the same way I don't want to wear synthetic fibers on my skin because it's not as breathable as linen or even as high vibrational as linen, is the same way I wouldn't want to use a software that is behind closed doors helping to attack me in some capacity. That's just been my thinking on it. I overthink. I think too much anyway. So, you know, who knows? In the next 3 months, maybe I'll change my mind. But it's like for the past few years, I so far haven't. And I know I have a lot of pride, for sure. It's just also, even when I try to like consider it, I feel it in my gut. Like, it's just not a space for me. And I think it's the same way that if I know that a space isn't safe, I won't go back there. Like, if I know that something's gonna harm me, then I won't step towards it. That's just what I figure self-preservation looks like. So yeah, a struggle has definitely been tech. Me thinking about a new laptop, what does that look like? I feel like there's so many different worlds to process when you're coming across one or two things. There's so many worlds to process even when you're coming across one or two things. And just me sitting here listening and like discovering all the different ways that I want to live and looking at every detail of my life and how it's maneuvered, I'm just like blown away at what humans are able to create. And I feel like there's more in the less. Like, if we consume less and create more, there will be no way that we could ever lose our grip on what's real again. Like, if we consume less and create more, then the possibilities of this earth are beyond. We wouldn't even want to go to space yet because we would still be trying to figure out, how can I make this earth better today? How can I help my neighbor that much more today? Like, I realized I can't keep playing my part in a mess that I'm complaining about. I have to genuinely create solutions to the problems that I see. And if there are too many problems for just me, then I need to continue to speak about, you know, what it is that I think could be done. And just keep imagining, keep dreaming a better and bigger, brighter world, because me sitting in glum mode of like, woe is me, this will never get fixed or anything like that is not gonna bring about even just a fraction of change. Like, and I constantly am having to face that because you hear it once and you're like, okay, right. But then you realize, oh shit, I'm doing it again. Like, I'm complaining again. Or, oh man, I'm been sitting down too long. Thank you so much for watching. This was actually nerve-wracking as heck because I didn't even write notes. Like, I was just like, oh dang, it's been another 3 months. I should make something to celebrate and to commemorate my moments within this boycott. And next thing you know, I'm like, let me do it now because I did a grocery run and a studio run. It feels so good to have. I keep saying this. It really does. It feels so good to be devoting myself to my creations more and more. Like listening to that inner voice in me that's like, I need to make this. Please, can we make this? Like there is an inner child in me that is bouncing off the walls. And honestly, I think I myself am currently bouncing off the walls. Like I'm just so ecstatic and so excited to get started. Like, yeah. I hope you have a blessed day, wherever and whenever and however you're watching this. Man, if you have any experiences of your own with boycotting that you want to share with me, any tips, I would love that. I would greatly appreciate that. Subscribe to my YouTube, please. And I also have Instagram. I don't know for how long. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Last night it almost got deleted. This is June of 2025. It almost got deleted last night. I was like, I did that before. Let me just hold it down for a second. So I don't know. I do plan to post more though at the same time. So follow it while you can and enjoy me while I'm here, okay? Instead of trying to figure out where I went. That's all. Yeah. I can't think of anything else. So peace. Honestly, I'm praying for the world. I've been praying for the world. It's just I also know if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna definitely go out how I came in, which is creating. So, and dreaming and singing and laughing and dancing. That's just how it has to be. I didn't make the rules. Not sorry.